Welcome back to the channel, you guys. So in today's video, we are going to be going over tunes, tuners, and all that kind of stuff for your truck, your Ford truck. And this principle really applies for any truck out there, whether it's a Chevy, GMC, Nissan, Toyota, any of that kind of stuff, Dodge. It's the same sort of principle. And we're going to start off by sort of showing you guys the basics, where to start if you're looking at a tune, and then sort of how it ends by loading that tune onto your truck. So getting right into it here. This might be a pretty janky way of showing you guys. I just got the camera recording my monitor, my computer monitor, but hopefully you guys get the idea, and we'll kind of go from there. So basically, I'm tuned through ID Speed Shop, formerly known as Idmotorsports. They've been really good to deal with. I've been dealing with them for about 4 years, and I deal with Eric, and I can email him on a whim, saying, you know, like, I've got this mod added to my truck, I've got that mod added to my truck, I'd like to change my tune, adjust my tune, it's not driving really well, you know, any issues that he has, and he can send revisions to me via email, download it onto my tune, and then onto my truck, and we'll go over all that in a second here. So ID Speed Shop is one of the brands I use, and then you basically, you know, you email them, you reach out to them, and you say, listen, I got a 2018 F-150, you can go, so ID custom tuning, basically, and then you can, actually, no, let's go back to the homepage here. So you put in your truck that you have, you know, 2018, and this is going to be the same for most websites. The tune websites, we'll go over a few more after this, but you go F-150, and then we do whatever XLT. I don't think that really matters too much. So we're going to go, and then here's obviously their categories. So we want to do, let's say, ID custom tuning, and then they're going to ask more questions. This is for the 3-liter Power Stroke, 3.5-liter Ecoboost, 5-liter F-150, etc. So let's say the F-150, because that's what I have. And then it'll ask you your year, 2018. Do you have a heavy, basic bolt-on, heavy bolt-on, forced induction, all that kind of stuff. And then what kind of octane you want to run. And then the device. Yes, add an SCT X4 tuner. Let's just go through the steps here. We'll do a 93 octane tune, and we'll do basic bolt-ons, because that's what most people have, right? Intake, exhaust, maybe headers, and honestly, that's really it. And most people are looking to get a tune after that fact. So you do something similar to this, and you want the SCT X4 tuner so you can actually apply the tune to your truck. And let's just say that you add that to your cart. You're looking at about $744. And this comes with their support as well, and you can email them, you send them your data logs and all that stuff, we'll go over, and then, you know, they'll send you a tune, and then they'll keep revising it as you go forward and you deal with them. So ID Speed Shop's one of them, Lund Racing, another very popular one. You go through their setup, their website the same as you do the other site. 5-Star Tuning, another very popular one, and then you can do OZ Tune, which was arguably the most popular tune for the F-150 5-liters. You go into any Ford forum and people are talking about the OZ tune. The nice thing about OZ tuning is that they offer these stage packages, which is really nice. So if you have a stock truck and you're looking to basically get right into modding your truck, they have these packages, which is nice. So for example, their stage 3 package gives you a Mustang GT intake manifold, a throttle body, an air intake, and then you get your custom tune and your tuner, and that'll start you at whatever, $2,000. You can go for just a tuner, intake, and a custom, and that's about $1,000. So if you're doing a bare bones custom tune, you're looking at $700 to $800 in that kind of realm, and then any other bolt-on after that, you're looking at more. But these is kind of cool that they offer this kind of stuff. So this is a basic mods, OZ Tuning Omega. Pmas or JLT intake, you can choose. The 2018 Mustang GT intake manifold is ported as well, and an 80mm throttle body that's ported as well. So you get some pretty good bolt-ons, and that's $2,000. So this is a route you can also go, OZ tuning and some of their packages. If you want to piece together your own, you want to buy your own exhaust, your own intake, all that stuff, and you want to go with a tune after, I would recommend any of these sort of 4 brands. When you're tuning your truck. So I'm very happy with my tune. I have no complaints, and it's super subjective, right? Everyone's gonna say their tune's the best, because I don't think a lot of people experience other tunes, right? Like an OZ tune guy's gonna say his is the best, but I'm gonna say, you know, mine's the best because I don't know what the difference is really. But I think OZ tune is pretty proven, 5-star Lund Racing and Idmotorsports. So unless you're going with a forced induction, turbocharger, supercharger, basic bolt-ons, I think they're going to be relatively the same. Now the nice thing about OZ Tune is that if you are running 93 octane, you're jumping between your octanes a lot, E85, 91, 93, 87, anything like that. The OZ Tune is supposed to be able to recognize the type of fuel you have in your truck and adjust on the fly. So you never have to re-download a different tune based on the octane or the different style of gas that you are running. Now I don't have E85 here, where I am. 87 is just, you know, you don't want to run that. So I just do a 91, 93 octane tune. And then mine's kind of a hybrid, so I can run 93 safely and 91 safely on that tune. It doesn't really matter. So that's what I'm running. I keep it on that. But if you're in an area where you have all those different fuel varieties, maybe OZ Tune is the one for you because of that sort of versatility with their tunes. So I have the X4. This is my X4 SCT tuner, and I have it hooked up to my computer right now. So we'll go over sort of how to get a tune onto your, from here and then onto your truck. So I haven't talked to Eric in probably a year and a half, 2 years, give or take. And I messaged him, I reached back out and I said, hey Eric, not sure if this is something you can help me with. The last email we sent each other was regarding the hard shift between 7 and 8. He then sent me a tune, which was good. And then I was happy at the time, but I'm still noticing a little bit of a hard shift. So he sent me a revised tune. We went through, we talked a little bit. I sent him my my firmware version and a bunch of other sort of specs, and then he ends up sending me a tune right here. So so he sends me a tune via email that he has created on his computer. I get the tune and I download it to my computer. So once I have it downloaded to my computer, I then go to my SCT device updater. Now this program right here, you can get off SCT's website for free. You just go to SCT, you go to their website, and there's literally just download device updater. It's very, very simple, and then you get on your computer. And then once you plug in your SCT tuner, it will recognize it it'll recognize it automatically, sorry. So just display device and serial number, so to make sure it sees it, and that's it right there. So it does see my device, and this is what I got right now. So I want to load a custom tune file. So we're gonna click on, actually I'm gonna go, you have to go back here, and it'll load custom tune file. And this is what the interface looks like right here. So I'm going to, this is my current, like where my arrow is, 91 octane, that's the one I'm running right now, and that's the one that's sort of a little clunky, and I wanted it cleaned up a little bit. So we're gonna browse for the custom tune. We're going to downloads. Oh, it's right here actually. So it's this guy right here. So this is the tune that he sent me right here, ID 91 to 93 octane tune. So we are gonna click on this, highlight it, we're gonna add it to the device, and then we're gonna remove this guy here, actually no, let's just do one step at a time here. So we added it, we see our thing right here, and to accept those changes, you have to go to, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna go to program. So now it says on the bottom here, programming custom tune. So it's loading the tune, you can see the little loading bar there, and now it's loading it onto my SCT X4 tuner. All right, and that is done downloading to our tuner, so we see it right here now. I mean, we saw it before we hit program, but now it's set in stone, ID 91 to 93 octane tune. So if we go plug this into our truck, we can now tune this to our truck. So before we go to the truck, because we've done the part, we got the tune from our tuner, we've got it onto this Derive Systems device updater, and now it's onto our tuner. So an important step is to, when you get your tune, you're gonna want, your tuner's gonna ask you to data log it. So this will kind of make sense in a second here. We're gonna go into this program here, and this is called Live Link Gen 2. So you can go to Google, type it in, it'll probably the first link, and then you want to download this. They're all made by this Derive company, Derive Systems. So yes. So my firmware on my device isn't updated, and this is probably a newer firmware, and they don't match. So basically, I'm gonna take the camera back here. So I went, I'm gonna show you guys where I went here. I'm gonna go back to home. So this is kind of the screen that you see when you first start. And it says I want to data log a vehicle, I want to open a data log file, I want to import a data log file, which is what you want to do. I want to create a data log configuration and show me live link help. So I want to import a data log file. So you click on the screen, let me just zoom out here. You go down the bottom corner there, you hit next, and then you go here and you hit check communication. Now I don't think it's going to work for me because my firmware on my device does not match this. It says right here, device drivers must be successfully installed. Make sure device firmware is equal or greater than requirements. And I don't think my firmware is equal or greater right now than this. I don't want to upgrade my firmware because sometimes you just run into issues and I don't need to data log my vehicle anymore. So what happens is when you get to this check communication, you go back down to this arrow again and you click import file. That will steal the data log file from your tuner here, right from here, and it'll turn it into a file and it'll put it on your computer. You then take that file and you email it to your tuner. He can see all of your truck and exactly what it's doing and then send you a tune back based on what he's seeing that the tuner sort of discovered. So we'll go over the data logging in a bit once we're in the truck and it'll make more sense. All right, so let's go to the truck here. I got new tires on the Focus. And if you haven't seen our new exhaust install video, guys, go check it out. It sounds great. But heading over to the dirty old truck here. I have to wash. It's been rainy the last couple of days. It's just a mess in here. Okay, so let me just turn on some lights here. So here is my cable right here. This just comes from my OBD2 port, which is just down underneath the steering wheel here, right here. So this is just a cable that goes to the top there. So very easy, plugs in your OBD2 port. You need that plugged in order to put the tune onto your truck. So I have a mount here for my SCT tuner. So I'll get it all on the mount and then we'll plug it all in here. Okay, so we got it plugged in and this is basically the home screen of the tuner. So I'll quickly go over data log before we get too far ahead of ourselves. So when you get your tuner, they might send you a file based on the mods you sent them. Like if you say, hi, I have an intake, I have an exhaust, I have headers, I have a throttle body spacer, blah, 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 blah. They might send you a base tune based on what they think is appropriate with the mods that you have. But what they will ask you to do is that you go into this, your gauges and data log, and then you hit continue. It loads, and then this is your gauges, like it shows your RPM. You can actually have these whatever you want. Your ambient temp. Oh, so these are all reset for me actually because I updated my device. I didn't update the firmware, I just updated the device in general. So I gotta change these back. I usually have my RPM up here, ambient air temperature down there, and then I have my NOx sensor right here. So you can have this to whatever you want. You can have it as just big one number, like just your RPMs, like whatever you want. But when you're driving, you would basically hit the middle button like this, and now it says recording. So when it says recording, you basically do whatever you want now. You stomp on your truck and you do 0 to 60 quarter-mile runs, 0 to 200, 0 to 100. Just do a variety of different pulls, stopping hard, accelerating hard, going through all your gears. And then when you're done doing that, you finish recording, and this file will save to your tuner, and then you go back to your computer. I don't have my key put in, so let's do that before this thing shuts off on us. So now that data log file is in the tuner. So you take it back to your computer and use that live link Gen 2 to get the data log file out of here onto your computer, and you send it off to your tuner. So I already did all that. He doesn't need to see a data log file anymore. He can basically send me tunes based on what he thinks is correct. And these guys are professionals. They've seen thousands and thousands of trucks, so they should have a pretty good idea to begin with. You don't always have to data log your truck, but if you want the most out of your tuner and your custom tune, it's best to do that. So getting right into it here, I'm going to turn my key off. It's in the off position, and we are going to, actually, you know what? I think it actually requires it to be just, whoops, in the on position, not the truck on, just the key in the on position. So we're going to get out of here, stop data logging, and we're going to get back to the home screen. So we're going to program the vehicle. So when we program the vehicle, this is illegal for blah, 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 yeah. turn the vehicle's key ignition on, which we do have it, so we're going to continue. And then you can do preloaded tunes, which have been disabled. Like this is preloaded tunes from SCT itself, but we don't need that because we have custom tunes. And there you see it, the ID 9193 that we put onto our device updater moments ago from our computer. So click on that, and then we'll run through the steps that it asks us to. Select special options, continue. Now this part's always a little bit confusing for me because I imagine my tuner built this all in when he did it. Did you change your tire size? No, 33s aren't too much bigger than stock tires anyways. TPS sensors adjustment, no. Did you change your gear ratio? No, I have not. So we're gonna basically just upload what he sent me with all the default options. So we're gonna hit continue. And now it's saying keep the key turned on, and it's gonna do its thing. It's run through its download here. And you might see a bunch of errors. Your whole dash might flash and do a bunch of things because you are essentially, like my screen is gonna keep coming on here and turning off. And now we are at 100% on this part of the process. Do not turn the key off. It will ask us to do that in a second though. So turn the vehicle key on, leave it on. And sometimes, like he sent me a tune one time where he forgot to set the rev limiters. So it was like in like manual mode, you can go like right to 8,000. Some of you may like it, some of you may want it that way, and some of you may not. I didn't want that because like he capped it at like 7,000, 7,200, because I don't need to go that much. If you ever forget, or you have someone driving your truck that doesn't know, it could ruin it. So this is going to take a minute. Like this, uploading this whole process takes several minutes. So let's wait till it gets to 100 and we'll go through the next prompt together. All right, so it's just about done here. We're at 98% and it's going through some of its prompts here on the dash. Not to worry. And now it says to turn the key off. So turn the key off. Don't pull it out. You don't need to do that. And it's going to ask us to turn it back on again. Turn it back on again, 2 clicks. Clearing. Another thing that's nice about these tuners is that you can clear engine codes. You can see engine codes, you can read engine codes and all that good stuff. So that's what it's doing right now. If there is any, I didn't have any, so. So don't freak out if like random, and now we go download complete. Tune has been successfully programmed. You can now turn your vehicle off. So we'll turn it off. I'm gonna grab my phone and then we will do, here, I'll start my truck up so I can warm it up. And there we go. So the tune is good. We can go back to our gauges and I'll kind of just show you guys. Continue. And we will change some of these. So ambient air I don't want, so you go item, and then you can go through all these different. And there's not much options for a naturally aspirated vehicle. If you have forced induction, you might want to have your fuel air ratio on there. Maybe I'm sure you can get your boost numbers on there as well. I'm not too sure on that, but I mean you can go through. I like it to have the ambient air temperature because if I'm in my Android Auto app, it doesn't always show it on the main display, so just to know, but we don't want that. We want that in Celsius because I am Canadian. And then we will do that. And then you can do your gear command, which tells you what gear you're in, what you should know that based on your dash. You can do knock sensor, which is a good thing. That shows you if you're advancing or retarding your timing. And yeah, not a lot of other stuff that you would otherwise use. So I'm gonna do knock sensor, degree, and we're gonna keep that there. So 16 degrees Celsius side, our truck's running at 900 RPMs, and that's our knock sensor so I can see what the motor is kind of doing. So I'm gonna get my phone and then we'll go for a rip. All right, so we are just gonna take a couple miles of road here to get to our spot where we can do a couple pulls. a safe spot with no traffic. Let's get as controlled environment as we can get with this. And then we'll do a couple pulls and you guys can kind of see. I'll just show my speedometer here, my digital speedometer. And if you guys want, you guys can do the same with your truck and you can compare the videos and see, you know, if it's a lot faster, if it's worth it. But just to give you an idea, right? I'm not gonna speed it up or slow it down or anything like that. This is gonna be like a live sort of display readout. And on my truck, if you guys are new to the video and you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I have a Pmas cold air intake. I have a MagnaFlow 3-inch catback exhaust with a 3-inch wide pipe with high flow cats. So nothing too crazy. Running my 93 octane tune with currently 91 octane gas in it. So if I know I'm going on cruise night where I might be doing the odd pull here and there, I will run 93 and maybe put some octane booster in it as well, get that little extra pep out of it. But here, let's just do a quick little pull here on the highway right now. We're already going 60, so we're 55, so let's just see. So pretty spicy, like that downshift felt really, really good. We're gonna turn right here. All right guys, so 4-wheel drive launch. Because there's a lot of gravel on this road, I'm gonna spin my tires right away. So 4-wheel drive launch, let's just mash it. Like, it's pretty impressive how quickly these trucks can move. Like, there's no doubt about that. So let's just do another pull here. 4-wheel drive launch from 0. Let's go. So something I'm going to be investing in soon is a draggy. So we will be able to have a good idea exactly how much this tune is doing for my truck. We can load the stock file back up, do a pull, load this file up, and then do a pull, and then we'll have a really good idea of how much this tune. So I'm going to put it back in 2-wheel drive here, and we're going to do a bit of a rolling. So I'm gonna do this one in manual and try to hold it with my one hand here. So I'm gonna drop it right into first gear. And then we are gonna just mash it. That's unreal. Like, it is sucking me back in my seat right now, you guys. I'm beyond happy with that. And like I said earlier, it's very subjective. The tunes are very subjective because this tune feels insanely fast to me, not knowing what any other tune feels like. So I have a lot of confidence that, like, I can't get much more power out of this without going, like, obviously you can cam your truck and do a bunch of stuff like that. But just with the bolt-ons I have now, I can't see how any other tune can get more power out of this. So very, very, very happy with it. Eric, great job, man. I am beyond happy with how this performs, and it pulls so hard. You're right, it is noticeable, very noticeable. So we're just gonna turn around here. We'll do one more, keep it in auto. That was in manual. Last one, so I was able to control the revs. They say once you get into 7,000 RPMs or even like above 6,500, it's not doing much without that GT intake manifold, but it's still fun to go that high. So one more little rip here, 23 mile per hour dig. I'm not sure where it's going to downshift to, but we're already in 6th gear. So let's just, and my tires are spinning. My tires are spinning that entire time. Here's the gas light. Like, my favorite part is when you come out of the top of your gear, like let's just say you have an auto mode and it's coming out of the gear at, let's say 5,500 RPM, 6,000 RPM, the shift and the immediate pickup is so noticeable. It sucks you back in your seat. It's really, really cool. It really is. So that is all I have for you guys tonight. It is getting dark out and I am going to head home now. Maybe go fill up the truck quickly before I head home, since that gas light did come on. But I hope that did explain it to you guys. I hope you guys get a better idea of sort of what goes behind tuning your truck. It's not that hard. You don't do the heavy work. The tuner, the guy you pay, does the heavy work. And having that continuous support over the years is very, very nice. And like I said, shout out to Eric. He has been great to deal with at ID Speed Shop. And I listed out a bunch of other tuners you guys can go with. If you want the simplicity, I'm telling you guys, ID Speed Shop has been just great to deal with. They've been phenomenal. They email me back within an hour with a new tune if I have an issue. You're not waiting business days after business days if your truck is all of a sudden on the fritz. So shout out to those guys for doing such a great job and making such a great tune. I am beyond happy with this tune. It pulls really, really hard. Once we get the draggy, we can really see how much of a difference this tune makes from stock versus tuned with the same mods on, right? How much a tune wakes up your truck with those mods on, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there just running their truck with mods on and not having a tune to complement them. So draggy coming soon, you guys. Make sure you subscribe for that video. I hope this sort of gives you a better understanding of what all goes into tuning a vehicle and just kind of realizing that it is quite an easy process. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one.